A nun had hidden her pregnancy for 9 months, until the day of labor.
Hello everyone. Enjoy these relaxing moments while you watch.
Mary was a young nun living at the convent. She always believed that no matter how ascetic a nun's life could be, she was willing to accept it. But this morning, a strange feeling flooded her body. A wave of nausea surged up her throat, forcing her to rush outside. Ugh! She collapsed, gripping the edge of the stone well, vomiting violently. Sweat broke out on her forehead, and her head spun. "Mary! Are you all right?" The voice of Sister Anna, a young nun, rang out with concern. She ran over and placed a hand on Mary's back. I don't know. I guess I'm just tired. Do you want to rest for a bit?" "No, I can still work." Mary wiped her mouth and tried to stand upright. She didn't want anyone worrying about her. But in the days that followed, the nausea didn't go away. In fact, it only got worse. 3 weeks later. "Mary, have you noticed how pale you've been looking lately?" Sister Evelyn, an older nun, looked at her with a probing gaze. "I'm fine, really." Mary smiled, but her hand clenched tightly at the edge of her robe. She was hiding the truth. Her body was changing day by day. But how could that be possible? She had never been with anyone. Never. "Oh Lord, please don't test me like this." Every night, Mary tossed and turned, holding her stomach. She was afraid. A fear she couldn't name. One morning, while Mary was folding tablecloths in the dining hall, Sister Clare approached, her face cold as ice. "Mary, come with me." Mary lowered her head and silently followed. They walked down a long hallway until they stopped in front of a heavy wooden door. Knock knock. "I've brought her, Reverend Mother." "Let her in." The door opened. Inside, Reverend Mother Teresa sat behind a wooden desk, her sharp eyes scanning Mary from head to toe. "Sit down." Mary obeyed, her heart pounding. "I will ask you once, and you must answer truthfully." "Yes." "Who is the father of the child in your womb?" Mary's heart felt like it stopped. I don't understand what you mean, Reverend Mother." "Don't pretend anymore, Mary." The Reverend Mother's voice turned sharp. "All the nuns in the convent have noticed. Did you think you could hide this from us forever?" Mary was stunned. She knew they had suspicions, but she didn't think things had gone this far. I don't know. I've never." "Don't lie in front of God." The Reverend Mother slammed her hand on the table. Mary flinched, tears beginning to fall. "I'm not lying. I don't know what's happening. Anyone who sins, if they repent, the Lord will still forgive them." The Reverend Mother stared at her. "So confess." The other nuns in the room whispered among themselves. "There has to be someone. No one just gets pregnant out of nowhere." "That's right, she's defiled this convent." Mary shook her head, sobbing. "No, there's no one. Please believe me." The Reverend Mother was silent for a moment, then coldly declared. "From today on, you will no longer join the other nuns in prayer." Mary was speechless. "And furthermore, you will kneel in the cold room and pray from morning until night every day. We must cleanse your sin." "Reverend Mother. Please don't do this. I've done nothing wrong." Mary dropped to her knees, eyes full of desperation. But the Reverend Mother simply turned her back. "Sister Clare, take her out." "Yes, Reverend Mother." Sister Clare grabbed Mary's arm and dragged her out of the room. The door slammed shut. From that day on, Mary was treated like an outcast. "She still dares to come near the chapel," a nun whispered as Mary walked by. "The Lord will punish us if we let her stay." Every day, Mary was forced to kneel for hours in front of the statue of Christ. Her knees bled, but no one cared. She was starved, only given dry bread to eat. The other nuns avoided her like she was a plague. But the worst part wasn't the punishment. It was the loneliness. She had believed the convent was her home. But now, it was just a cold prison. At night, Mary held her stomach, tears streaming down her face. What did I do wrong, Lord? No answer came. Only darkness surrounded her. Please, Lord, don't abandon me. Mary knelt before the statue of the Virgin Mary, her eyes full of tears, lips moving silently in prayer. She had grown used to the contemptuous looks, the whispered rumors behind her back. But deep down, she still hoped someone would believe her. The sound of shoes echoed on the cold stone floor. Sister Claire stood behind her, holding a thin whip. That's enough. Get up. Mary slowly rose. Today you'll be in charge of cleaning the entire kitchen. And make sure to scrub the floor too. Yes, I will. Sister Claire looked at her for a long moment, her voice sharp. One more thing, Mary. Don't expect anyone to help you. Mary nodded, not daring to argue. The kitchen was dim, lit only by flickering candlelight. Mary rolled up her sleeves and began scrubbing the stone floor with her bare hands. If you need help, just ask. A gentle voice spoke. Mary looked up. It was Sister Anna, the only nun who still treated her kindly. I don't want to drag you into this. But... Sister Anna. Sister Evelyn's voice cut through the air. Don't waste your kindness on a sinner. Mary lowered her head, hands gripping the rag tightly. Sister Anna hesitated but eventually stepped back. When the kitchen was finally spotless, Mary was so exhausted she nearly collapsed. She dragged herself toward her room, but suddenly a voice called out from behind her. Stop. She turned around. Reverend Mother Teresa was staring at her with icy eyes. I heard you're still denying your sin. I didn't do anything wrong, Reverend Mother. Still being stubborn, are you? Her voice was full of sarcasm. Then from now on, you will no longer sleep in your room. Mary stood frozen. Where will I sleep, then? The storage room. The Reverend Mother gave a cold smile. There, you can pray as much as you want. That night, Mary curled up in the cold storage room. The wind blew through the cracks in the door, sending icy gusts that pierced her skin. Outside, the other nuns slept soundly in their warm rooms. She buried her face in her knees, tears falling silently. The next morning, Mary went to the garden to fetch water. But as soon as she placed the bucket down, a hand shoved her hard from behind. Thud. She fell to the ground, water splashing everywhere. Look who it is. Still dare to show your face around us? Sister Margaret, an older nun, glared at her with contempt. She still thinks she's a true nun. Sister Evelyn let out a dry laugh. She must be hoping we'll forgive her. Mary tried to stand, her voice choked. Please, don't do this. Don't beg us, Mary. Beg God to forgive your sins. Mary pressed her lips together and silently turned away. Behind her, the laughter continued. That night, Mary couldn't sleep. Her stomach began to throb in pain. She clutched her crucifix tightly, trying to endure. But then a deep voice whispered in her ear. You deserve this fate. Mary startled and turned around. In the darkness, a tall figure stood still. Father Isaac. His face was hidden beneath his black cassock. Accept it, Mary. You can't escape. His breath hit her face, cold as the night around them. Mary stepped back, trembling. I don't know anything. Really? He scoffed. Then why are you pregnant? I don't know. I don't remember anything. Ha, that's right. Because you were sleeping very deeply that night. Mary's heart tightened. You can cry, you can pray, but no one will believe you. Father Isaac stepped back, his figure fading into the darkness. She collapsed to the ground, choking on sobs. God, please save me. Mary curled up in the corner of the storage room, arms wrapped around her stomach. She closed her eyes, trying to find peace in her prayers. But every time she closed her eyes, Father Isaac's voice echoed in her mind. Because you were sleeping very deeply that night. She gripped the crucifix around her neck tightly. Lord, please, let me know the truth. But what truth? She couldn't remember anything. Only that her body was changing more every day. And the loneliness was unbearable. The next morning, Mary was ordered to clean the library. She silently knelt on the floor, scrubbing each cold tile. What are you doing here? A deep voice echoed. She looked up. Father Isaac was standing right in front of her, his sharp eyes fixed on her. I'm just following Reverend Mother's orders. He sneered. Is that so? A sinful nun still gets to work here. Mary lowered her head. She knew saying anything would be useless. He was the most powerful person in the convent. No one dared question him. You seem to be suffering a lot. He leaned down and whispered into her ear. But that's what you deserve, isn't it? Mary shivered. I didn't do anything wrong. Oh. Father Isaac chuckled, his hand brushing across her shoulder. Then tell me. Do you remember anything about the night you were cursed? Mary shook her head, lips trembling. I don't know. Exactly. He straightened, a glint of satisfaction in his eyes. Because I made sure you would never remember. Mary's heart felt like it stopped. She stared at him, eyes wide with horror. Looks like you understand now. He smirked. But let me give you some advice, don't be foolish enough to tell anyone. Who do you think they'll believe? A filthy, pregnant nun, or me, a respected priest of God? His hand grabbed her chin, forcing her to look him in the eyes. No one will stand by you, Mary. That evening, Mary knelt in the chapel, tears dripping onto the cold stone floor. Sister Anna. She whispered when she saw Sister Anna walking by. Do you believe me? Sister Anna froze. Believe you? I didn't do it. Mary choked. I have no one. I don't even know what happened. Sister Anna clenched her hands, conflict swirling in her eyes. I don't know either, Mary. But do you believe me? Sister Anna bit her lip and took a step back. Please. I just need one person to believe me. But Sister Anna turned away, giving no answer. Mary's heart shattered. She realized she was completely alone. The next morning, as Mary stepped out of the storage room, a bucket of cold water was dumped over her head. Filthy nun. Sister Margaret stood before her, her face full of hatred. You still think you're part of this convent? She's defiled this place. Another voice called out. Mary trembled, her soaked hair clinging to her skin. She didn't dare meet their eyes. She just wanted to disappear. But she couldn't. She had to live. For the child inside her. Even if the whole world turned its back on her. She still had to live. That night, Mary was summoned to the Reverend Mother's office. Someone saw you talking to Sister Anna. Reverend Mother Teresa's voice was cold. You are not allowed to spread lies. I'm not lying. Mary burst out, tears streaming down her face. I just want someone to believe me. The Reverend Mother stared at her. I will give you a chance to atone. How? Kneel and pray all night in the courtyard. Mary was stunned. Outside, the wind was bitterly cold. But she had no right to refuse. She had to do it. The wind howled through the stone walls. Mary knelt in the middle of the courtyard, both hands clutching her crucifix. She shivered, her breath forming clouds of white in the freezing night. Her knees ached. But she didn't dare move. In the distance, the other nuns were already asleep in their warm rooms. She was alone. She was cold. She was in pain. But she was still alive. Even if no one believed her. Even if no one stood by her. She was still alive. For the child in her womb. She would not give up. Even as the darkness threatened to swallow her whole. Merciful Lord, are you watching me? Mary knelt in the corner of the storage room, her lips pale from the cold. She had knelt in the courtyard all through the night. The wind cut into her flesh like sharp blades. Her body was exhausted, her knees swollen. But that morning, when the other nuns came outside, not a single one looked her way. No one saw her as a person anymore. To them, she was nothing but filth. Mary closed her eyes, swallowing her humiliation. I must be strong. I cannot fall. But how much longer could she endure? The chapel bell rang. Mary quietly made her way toward the dining hall, trying to walk lightly to avoid prying eyes. But as soon as she sat down, Sister Margaret slammed her hand on the table. You think you can still sit and eat with us? Mary flinched and looked up. She has no right to be here. Sister Evelyn stood, arms crossed. We cannot let a sinner share a table with us. She defiles this place. Sister Clare's cold voice rang out. Mary gripped the hem of her robe, shame wrapping around her like a rope tightening at her throat. She opened her mouth to speak, but Reverend Mother Teresa's voice cut in. Mary, from now on, you will eat alone. Mary was stunned. But Reverend Mother. No buts. The Reverend Mother emphasized each word. You will only be allowed to eat after all of us have finished. And you will eat in the storage room. But why? Mary's voice trembled. The Reverend Mother stared at her. Because you are no longer worthy of being part of this convent. It felt like someone had punched her in the chest. No one defended her. No one looked at her with compassion. Mary stood and quietly left the table. Behind her, contemptuous whispers filled the air. That night, Mary was summoned to the small holding room in the convent. The room was cold, lit by a single flickering candle. She still refuses to confess. Sister Margaret's voice was filled with hatred. She stubbornly claims she's innocent. That's right. Sister Evelyn added. If we let her stay, God will punish us. The Reverend Mother tapped her fingers lightly on the table. Then what do you think I should do with her? A heavy silence fell. Then Sister Clare spoke. We should expel her from the convent. Mary exhaled sharply, her heart pounding. No. She dropped to her knees, tears pouring from her eyes. Please, Reverend Mother. Let me stay. Stay. The Reverend Mother scoffed. You think you still have a place here? I have no one but God. Mary sobbed. Please. Please believe me. The Reverend Mother stood, walking over to her. You want us to believe you? Yes. I have never lied. The Reverend Mother looked down at her, eyes cold as ice. Then prove your loyalty to God. I'll do anything. Mary pleaded. Very well. The Reverend Mother turned her back. From now on, you will be confined to this room. You are not to go outside or speak to anyone. No. If you are truly innocent, God will protect you. The door slammed shut. The sound of the lock echoed in the darkness. Mary collapsed, covering her face with her hands. She had been abandoned. Once again. Time passed in darkness. Mary no longer knew how many days had gone by. She no longer received enough food. Just a piece of dry bread each day. She grew thinner and thinner. The child in her womb was still there, but Mary had no strength left. Each night, she curled up in a corner, trembling from the cold. All she could do was pray. But it seemed even God had turned his back on her. Suddenly, a noise came from outside the door. Mary looked up. Then the door burst open. Blinding light poured into the dark room. And a voice called out, "Mary." It was Sister Anna. Sister Anna. Mary burst into tears. "You came. Quiet." Sister Anna stepped inside and shut the door behind her. "I don't have much time. I came to help you." "Help me?" Mary trembled. "But, why?" Sister Anna bit her lip, her voice trembling. "Because I know you're not lying." Mary's heart clenched. "Is that true?" "Yes." Sister Anna took her hand tightly. "I can't stand by and watch them hurt you anymore." Mary broke down, sobbing uncontrollably. "Thank you, sister." "Shoo. Listen to me." Sister Anna spoke quickly. "I'm going to help you escape." Mary was stunned. "Escape?" "Yes." Sister Anna gripped her hand tightly. "If you stay, they'll kill you." Mary took a shaky breath. She knew Sister Anna was right. But if she escaped, where would she go? Darkness filled the small room where Mary was imprisoned. Only the flickering candle in Sister Anna's hand lit a corner of the cold stone wall. "You have to leave, Mary." Sister Anna whispered, her voice urgent. But where will I go?" Mary looked at her, eyes brimming with tears. She had never been outside the convent. "Save yourself first. Then God will guide you." Mary bit her lip, her trembling hand resting on her belly. She was scared. But if she stayed, she knew they would never let her be. Sister Anna gripped her shoulders tightly. "Listen. I'll leave the back door of the kitchen open. Tonight, after evening prayers, you must run. Don't stop, no matter what happens." "But, what if they find out?" Mary's voice trembled. Sister Anna looked her straight in the eyes. "Then I'll take the blame." "No. You can't. There's no time to argue. If you don't go, you'll die here, Mary." Mary fell silent. She knew Sister Anna was right. Finally, she nodded. "Okay. I'll go." Sister Anna took her hand and squeezed it tight. "God will be with you." Night fell. Mary sat in the room, her heart pounding. Is this the right thing to do? She placed her hand on her belly, feeling the small life stirring inside. She wasn't just running for herself. She was running to save her child. The chapel bell rang, signaling the end of evening prayers. Mary took a deep breath. "It's time." She quietly stepped out of the room, following the cold stone wall. Oil lamps from the hallway cast shadows of the nuns returning to their rooms. She held her breath and walked lightly. As she neared the kitchen, she looked around, her heartbeat so loud it seemed to echo. The back door had been left slightly open. Sister Anna kept her word. She rushed toward the door. Just one more step, suddenly. "Where do you think you're going?" A cold voice pierced the air. Mary froze. A rough hand clamped tightly around her arm. She turned around. It was Sister Margaret. "Trying to run, you little whore." Mary trembled. "Please, just let me go." "Never." Sister Margaret grabbed her hair and yanked it back violently. "You think you can escape God's punishment?" I'm not guilty." Mary sobbed. Sister Margaret pulled her hair harder. "Shut up. You are a disgrace." "What's going on?" Another voice rang out. Sister Claire appeared, her eyes cold and sharp. This girl tried to run. Sister Margaret hissed. Sister Claire stepped forward and slapped Mary hard across the face. Smack! Mary stumbled, her cheek burning. We can't let her leave. Sister Claire whispered. God will punish us if we let her go. That's right. A third voice joined in. Reverend Mother Teresa stepped forward, her face as severe as a stone statue. Mary shook her head, tears pouring down her face. Please, let me go. The Reverend Mother looked at her with utter disgust. Take her back to the holding room. Now. Mary was dragged down the cold hallway. Two nuns held her tightly, pulling her like an animal. Let me go. Please. She struggled, but it was useless. You have no right to beg. Sister Margaret's voice rang out. They shoved her into the holding room, and the door slammed shut behind her. Bang! There was no way out now. She had failed. Mary held her stomach, sobbing uncontrollably. Was God watching her? Or had he turned his back too? The next day, Mary wasn't given any food. Her stomach twisted in pain. The child inside her seemed to be suffering with her. She placed a hand on her belly and whispered. Mommy won't leave you. But did she even have the strength to protect her baby? A week passed. She no longer had the strength to stand. Her dreams were haunted by Father Isaac's laughter. You deserve this fate, Mary. She woke in the middle of the night, drenched in cold sweat. She couldn't take it anymore. She had to get out. Somehow. At any cost. The next night, Mary used all her strength to crawl to the small window on the wall. If she could just climb out. She looked around. No one. She took a deep breath, clutching the windowsill. Pain. Exhaustion. But she couldn't stop. She hoisted herself up, one leg out the window. The cold night wind stung her face. Almost there. But at that exact moment, what do you think you're doing? A rough hand grabbed her skirt and yanked hard. Ah! Mary fell to the ground, slamming against the wall. She gasped for air and looked up. Father Isaac was standing there. His eyes gleamed with cruelty. You think you can run away from me? He stepped closer, leaning down near her face. I created the demon in your womb. And you will never escape it. Mary trembled, staring at him in horror. He sneered. God won't save you, Mary. No. She whispered. But no one heard. Only the darkness surrounded her. Time passed in silence. No one spoke of Mary anymore. She was no longer allowed outside, no longer seen as human. They waited for the inevitable. The day she would collapse. What sin have I committed? Mary murmured, her voice dry and cracked. Every breath hurt. Her belly was swollen now. She could no longer hide it. But she no longer cared. Because she had no strength left to care. Sister Claire tossed a piece of hard bread into the room. Eat. Mary looked at the bread. She didn't feel hungry anymore. Only endlessly tired. Sister Claire smirked. Looks like you're about to die. Mary closed her eyes. If death was a release, she was ready. But, the baby in her womb kicked. A sharp movement. She opened her eyes. No. She couldn't die. One night, Father Isaac came to her cell. He looked down at Mary, who now resembled little more than a breathing corpse. You still think God will save you? His voice was cold. You're pitiful. Mary said nothing. He leaned in and whispered. When the demon in your belly is born, I'll take care of it. Mary's heart clenched. No. He gave a chilling laugh. You think I'll let it live? Mary trembled. He stood up, brushing off his robe. Sleep well, Mary. His figure vanished behind the door. Tears silently rolled down her cheeks. She couldn't let him hurt her child. She couldn't. Mary's body grew weaker with each day. Her belly grew heavier, her legs swollen. She could no longer walk properly. But she was still alive. Every night, she whispered to her unborn child. Don't be afraid. Mommy will protect you. Even though she didn't know how. But she wouldn't give up. Is the girl still alive? A voice spoke outside the door. She should have died by now. Humph. But she's still breathing. Don't worry. It won't be much longer. A quiet laugh echoed. Footsteps faded away. Mary closed her eyes. They were waiting for her to die. But she was still alive. For the baby. One stormy night. A sharp pain ripped through Mary's belly. She curled up, drenched in sweat. No. The pain intensified. She clutched her stomach, groaning. Thunder rumbled outside. She knew. The time had come. But she was alone. No one to help her. No one coming. She gritted her teeth, clutching her robe. My baby. The pain tore through her, spreading through every limb. She couldn't hold it back any longer. She screamed. But outside, the convent remained silent. No one heard. No one cared. She would die here. Alone. The pain felt like sharp blades slicing through her body. Mary doubled over, drenched in sweat, gasping. Outside, rain pounded the convent roof, mixing with the howling wind. No one is coming. Mary hugged her belly, her body shaking. My baby. She didn't even have the strength to scream anymore. Each contraction made her feel like she would pass out. But she couldn't. She had to give birth. Alone. Outside, the convent was engulfed in darkness. The nuns slept peacefully, none giving her a thought. But down the cold hallway, someone had heard. Sister Anna. She froze when the sounds of agony reached her from the holding room. Could it be? She swallowed hard, looking around. Everyone was asleep. She grabbed an oil lamp and quietly made her way to Mary's cell. Inside the dark room, Mary lay curled on the floor, gasping for air. The pain grew stronger with each wave. Each contraction felt like it would tear her apart. Again. Oh Lord. She bit her lip, vision blurring. A knock came at the door. Mary. Sister Anna's voice. Can you hear me? Mary nodded weakly, her lips pale. Sister. Hang on. I'm getting you out of here. The clinking of metal sounded as Sister Anna hurriedly inserted the key into the lock. But, what are you doing there? A cold voice cut through the air. Sister Anna froze. Sister Claire stood in the shadows, eyes like steel. I asked you. What are you doing? Sister Anna gripped the key tighter. Mary, she's going into labor. And so? Sister Claire sneered. To let the demon in her womb be born? No. It's a child. It's innocent. You dare defy the Reverend Mother's orders. Sister Claire's voice grew dangerous. Sister Anna trembled. She knew she could be punished. But she couldn't let Mary die. She turned quickly, jamming the key into the lock. No, stop. Sister Claire lunged, grabbing her shoulder. The two struggled in the narrow hallway. You dare betray the convent? Sister Claire shouted. I'm not betraying anyone. You're the ones betraying God. Sister Anna yelled back. Thud. Both fell to the floor. The key skidded away. In the chaos, another voice rang out. What is going on? Reverend Mother Teresa appeared. Her eyes burned with fury. What is happening here? Sister Claire quickly stood up. Reverend Mother, I caught Sister Anna trying to free Mary. The Reverend Mother turned to Sister Anna, her voice ice cold. You are truly a disappointment. Reverend Mother, please let Mary be helped. She's about to give birth. I don't care, the Reverend Mother said bluntly. If she dies, it's God's will. No. Sister Anna screamed. The Reverend Mother looked at her with utter contempt. You've made a mistake. And you will pay for it. Two other nuns stepped forward and grabbed Sister Anna's arms. Reverend Mother, please don't do this. Please save Mary. But the Reverend Mother simply turned her back. Lock her up. Sister Anna struggled. No. Don't do this. She'll die. The cell door closed in front of her. She was dragged away in despair. She had failed. Inside the cell, Mary had no idea what was happening outside. She only knew she was in unbearable pain. Cold sweat covered her body. Her breathing was rapid. She couldn't take it anymore. Oh God! She clenched her teeth, trying to push. The pain tore through every cell of her body. Aya! Darkness closed in around her. She was about to pass out. But, a cry rang out. Small. Faint. But still, a cry. Mary trembled and opened her eyes. In front of her, a baby lay there. She panted. She had done it. She had given birth. But, Mary's eyes widened. In the dim light, she saw a birthmark on the baby's chest. The shape of a cross. Outside, footsteps rushed toward the room. What's going on? The door burst open. A nun screamed. Oh God! Look! Everyone rushed in. Their horrified eyes locked on the baby. The birthmark. Sister Margaret murmured. Reverend Mother Teresa had also arrived. She stood frozen. How is this possible? A nun whispered. This is a sign from God. Murmurs spread through the room. It's the child of God. Have we made a terrible mistake? Reverend Mother turned pale. She stepped back. No. This can't be. But the truth was right before their eyes. Silence fell over the convent. That fateful night, everything changed. Forever. Mount Carmel Convent was shrouded in shock. The nuns gathered around Mary, eyes filled with both fear and reverence toward the child in her arms. A birthmark in the shape of a cross. Sister Margaret whispered, trembling. Could this be a sign from God? Another nun asked, her voice breaking. No. Reverend Mother Teresa screamed, her face ghostly white. This is a trial. A temptation. She stepped forward and yanked Mary's cloak. This child can't be a gift from God. It's proof of sin. Mary held her baby close, tears streaming down her cheeks. No, it's not. Her voice trembled, but was firm. This baby is innocent. Silence. The Reverend Mother hissed. You've defiled this convent. And now you dare speak such blasphemy? Mary lifted her head, her eyes filled with anguish. You can punish me, but don't touch my child. Your child. The Reverend Mother scoffed. This is not a child of God. This is a disgrace. Sisters, please look closely. Mary turned to the nuns around her. God's people do not act with cruelty. But what did they do to me? They abandoned me in my greatest pain, left me to suffer alone. Silence filled the room. The nuns looked down. They could not deny the truth. You have corrupted this place. The Reverend Mother shouted, eyes burning with fury. You think we'll forgive you? She raised her hand, ready to tear the baby from Mary's arms. But a voice rang out, enough. Everyone turned in shock. It was Sister Anna. She stepped into the room, face flushed with fury. We were wrong, she said, her voice choking. We let our blindness consume us. We turned this convent into a place of injustice. The Reverend Mother glared. You dare defy me? I'm not alone. Another voice called out. Sister Evelyn stepped forward, followed by several other nuns. We've stayed silent for too long. Sister Evelyn looked around, eyes full of sorrow. What have we done to Mary? We made her suffer so much. Is this what God wants? The other nuns whispered. Were we wrong? Did our doubt turn us into monsters? Reverend Mother turned pale. Silence. You've all been tempted. But then, another voice spoke. No, you're the one who's been tempted. Everyone turned. Father Isaac stood there. And for the first time, fear appeared in his eyes. The nuns stared at him. One of them whispered. He knows something. Sister Anna took a deep breath and pulled a small notebook from her sleeve. We have been deceived. She held the notebook high. This is the evidence. Evidence of what? The Mother Superior frowned. Sister Anna opened the notebook and read aloud. Date, month, year. Mary drank water after midnight mass. After that, she lost consciousness. The room sank into a terrifying silence. Sister Anna stared directly at Father Isaac's face. He drugged Mary's water. Murmurs began to rise. That can't be. What did he do? Silence. Father Isaac shouted, lunging to snatch the notebook. But Sister Evelyn was faster. She held the notebook tightly, staring into his eyes. What did you do to Mary? Her voice was icy. Father Isaac swallowed hard. I don't know what you're talking about. Do you dare swear before God that you are innocent? Sister Anna asked. He was speechless. His silence said it all. A nun cried out. Oh God! He's a sinner. The other nuns began to step back, eyes filled with disgust. You are the devil. Sister Margaret hissed. The Mother Superior stared at him, her lips trembling. You're guilty too. A nun shouted. You followed his orders. You let Mary suffer in hell. The Mother Superior shook her head, panicked. No. I was only following God's will. No, you were following your own will. Sister Anna shouted. And now you must pay the price. Shouts erupted around the room. Punish them. Bring them to justice. God will judge them. The Mother Superior staggered, her face pale. No, this can't be. But no one stood by her anymore. Father Isaac turned to run. But two nuns rushed in, grabbing him tightly. You can't escape. Sister Evelyn growled. You will be handed over to the authorities. No. He screamed, struggling. But it was useless. Sister Margaret turned to the Mother Superior. And what about you? The Mother Superior couldn't answer. She collapsed, clinging tightly to her robe. For the first time, she felt fear. Her downfall had begun. And no one could save her anymore. Father Isaac writhed, his face twisted in fear. Let me go. I'm a priest. I'm a man of God. Sister Margaret tightened her grip on his arm, pinning him to the cold stone floor. You are no man of God. You are the devil. The other nuns surrounded him, their eyes full of fury. Sister Evelyn turned to Mother Superior Teresa, her voice filled with rage. You must take responsibility too. The Mother Superior trembled, backing away, her face pale. I only did what was right for the convent. Right? Sister Anna growled. You abandoned Mary, blinded us, enabled evil. No. No. The Mother Superior shook her head repeatedly. But no one believed her anymore. A nun stepped forward, her voice full of contempt. You are no longer worthy to lead this convent. Another nun screamed. Expel her. No. The Mother Superior cried out in panic. You have betrayed God. Sister Margaret pointed straight at her. And now, God will judge you. The Mother Superior collapsed, her hands clutching at her robe. Please, my children, please forgive me. But no one listened to her anymore. Meanwhile, Mary held her child tightly in her arms. She watched the scene before her, heart pounding. Finally, the truth had been revealed. Those who harmed her were now paying the price. But she felt no satisfaction. Only a deep, aching sadness. Sister Anna. She looked up, her voice choked. You've helped me so much. I don't know how to thank you. Sister Anna knelt beside her, taking her hand. Mary, you've suffered too much. Tears rolled down her cheeks. But now, you don't have to suffer anymore. Mary smiled, though her eyes were still wet with tears. She looked at the baby in her arms. My child, he is innocent. No. Sister Evelyn gently placed her hand on Mary's shoulder. He is a miracle. The other nuns bowed their heads. We were wrong. One nun whispered. We were blind. Another broke into sobs. Please, Mary, forgive us. Mary took a shaky breath. She never thought she would hear those words. But she was no longer angry. She only wanted peace. She looked at the nuns kneeling before her. I forgive you. Everyone fell silent. Tears dropped to the cold stone floor. The nightmare had ended. 1 week later. Mount Carmel Convent was no longer the same. Mother Superior Teresa had been forced to leave. Father Isaac was arrested and brought to trial. The remaining nuns decided to reform the convent, turning it into a place of true kindness and compassion. Mary stood at the convent gate, her son in her arms. Sister Anna approached, her face tinged with sadness. Do you really want to leave? Mary nodded. Yes. I want to start a new life. Sister Anna looked at her for a long time, then smiled. You're going to be a wonderful mother, Mary. Mary squeezed her hand. Thank you, sister, for everything. Sister Anna said nothing, just embraced her tightly. Then Mary turned around and walked away, head held high as she moved forward with confidence. No more chains, no more haunting memories clouding her mind. No more suffering, no more pain, no more fear, no more dread day after day. She had broken free to find her own path. Only the light of a new beginning remained. She stepped beyond the convent gates, welcoming the first rays of a new day. And she knew. She was free. Mary's story is a testament to injustice, to the cruelty of those blinded in the name of faith. It shows us that truth can be hidden, but eventually, it will be revealed. The wicked will be held accountable, and justice will prevail, even if it comes late. Mary went through hell, but she didn't break. She taught us that even when the whole world turns against you, hold on to faith and compassion. In the end, forgiveness is not weakness, it is liberation.
If you enjoyed this story, we invite you to give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Your support motivates us to keep bringing heartwarming stories almost every day. We are very grateful for your support. See you soon.